Good morning, Pastor Brian here. Thanks for joining me today as we read a psalm a day, walking through the Psalms together. Today we'll be reading Psalm 117, and as I do each day, I'll be reading from the Common English Bible translation. And feel free to just listen along, follow along in your own translation, or if you want to find a copy of the Common English Bible, then feel free to do that and follow along with the same translation as I'll be reading from. So let's jump into a really short psalm, Psalm 117. Praise the Lord, all you nations. Worship him, all you peoples, because God's faithful love toward us is strong. The Lord's faithfulness lasts forever. Praise the Lord. Like I said, that was an extremely short psalm, a psalm that is obviously very much a psalm of praise. That's the very first word of the psalm. And one of the things that I do want to mention, though, is that in just these two short verses, we hear the word twice of God's faithfulness. One is his faithful love, and then just God's faithfulness. But the thing I want to point out about that is that both of them are God acting on us, not the other way around. It's God's faithful love towards us is strong, and because it's the Lord's faithfulness that lasts forever. So both of these are God's actions, and I think that that's an important thing to remember, especially for us as Christians, is that the love that we have and the love that we receive comes from God, and that it's God's faithfulness throughout each and every day of our lives. You know, oftentimes we want to think that we can do things on our own and that somehow we can do things to please or appease God, or however you want to word it. But this psalm clearly talks about it is God's faithful love, and it is God's general faithfulness that lasts forever. And because of those things, we praise the Lord. And so that is what I got out of today's psalm. That's really what stuck out to me, is that just in two verses, and really they're both in verse 2. So in just one verse, God's faithfulness comes up. And I think that's really important for us to hear and to know and to think about. So what did you hear? Write it down. Share it with a friend. Share it with us. And as always, please take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And God bless.